Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
On Instacart, I can shop a huge selection of pet supplies, from that one brush that scratches him just right, to that extra comfy bed he can't wait to flop down in. And I get everything delivered right to my door in as fast as 1 hour. Okay, settle down. I know it's here. Yes, very exciting. Visit instacart.com or download the app to get a free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum order $10. Additional terms apply. Instacart. Add life to cart.
Hello, and welcome to the first ever Deep Woods Paranormal podcast. My name is Matt Harvey. I will be your host. I am also the founder and lead investigator of Deep Woods Paranormal. I've been investigating the paranormal for over 30 years. Most of my research has been into ghosts and Bigfoot. I also research everything else, strange lights, UFOs, which I've had a couple UFO encounters in my lifetime as well. Dogman, Ram Man, anything strange or unusual, hence the word paranormal. So everybody asks me when they first meet me, how did you get into the field? What caught you going into researching the paranormal? I always say that it started basically when I was a kid. I had a lot of strange encounters that I just couldn't explain, and a lot of them were very scary, to be honest with you. So as a kid, some of the things that used to happen is I had a bunk bed, and I always slept on the top bunk because I was afraid of the shadows that would dart around the room. The closet door also would open on its own, and I would always have my pillow pulled out from underneath my head, and no matter which direction it went, it was always at the bottom of the foot of the bed where the ladder was. So I would crawl down on my stomach, and I basically would pull on the pillow, and something would yank back, and I always heard a little girl's laughter. Creeped me out. Caused me to have a little bit of insomnia. I started sleeping with the lights on, and this was when I was like 6 or 7, so it just took me a while to get over that. Into my teenage years, we moved out of that house and moved into another house where we encountered a gentleman who had unfortunately passed away in the house we were renting. And one night I was sleeping out in the rec room where he had his old bar, and essentially he appeared to me. And I just thought there was somebody in the house. Scared the hell out of me. I ran out of the room, got my parents, and they came back in. There was nobody there. Couldn't find the guy anywhere. And then they told me about the guy who had passed away in the house. My parents were pretty strict. They didn't believe in ghosts. They didn't believe in any of this stuff. They just rolled their eyes. And so I really didn't have anybody to talk to about what was going on. So fast forward into my later teenage years. I was living in a house that my dad built. I spent a lot of time alone in that house, especially at night. My parents would travel sometimes and leave me and my brother there, or just me, and we would hear things walking around the attic. My dad built that house so there was no squeaks, no rattles, no nothing. That house was dead quiet at night, but we could hear footsteps above us, which was creepy as hell. My friends would not come over and spend the night at that house. I had a room shake like there was an earthquake, but there was no earthquake. And then we saw, something really creepy one night. Something came out of the closet and had red eyes, and it looked like death. It looked like the actual skeletal hooded figure you would see in Death, and that freaked me out. Unfortunately, I was living with a demonic entity. So one day, my parents were gone, and my girlfriend came over, who is now my wife. Her name is Amanda. She's part of our team. And I walked out, and this house was huge. It was about 5,000 square feet. And I was standing out there with her, and we were looking up at the house, and I kid you not, we were looking at my brother's bedroom window, and we had the wooden blinds. and this two blinds separated, like something was looking out, and I knew there was nobody in the house. And I looked at my girlfriend and I said, "Hey, I'm not going back in there." And she said, "No, no, no. You have to go face that. You gotta, man up and go tell that thing it's not in control. You are." And so it took me a little while. It took me a couple, 3 or 4 months, but little by little, I finally got up the courage to stop being afraid of this thing, and I turned the tables on it. Well, back then, they didn't have the gear they have now, the little handheld Sony Handycams or audio recorders or anything like that. We had the big VHS recorders that took basically sat on your shoulder, and the big cassette tapes that actually took actual tape. So I started when I was about 19, maybe 20, essentially using that and trying to record what was going on when my parents were gone, which my dad didn't find so great. He came home one day and he was like, "What is this? What did you record?" I don't know why I got on audio, but he was not happy about it. Amanda and I live in California. We would go visit the Queen Mary. We'd go to the Whaley House in San Diego. Anywhere that could possibly have ghosts or whatever, we went and explored it. And so that's basically the beginning of our team. We started a team called the CLF Ghost Hunters, California Lake Forest Ghost Hunters, and which became the California Ghost Hunters. The rest is history. So let me bring Amanda on and have her talk about some of her experiences and talk a little bit more about what got her into researching the paranormal.
My name is Amanda Harvey, and I'm married to Matt Harvey, and I'm part of Deep Woods Paranormal. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about why I do what I do. In my family, unlike Matt's, it was never a question on whether ghosts were real or not. They were just there. And from very little, there was always stories about my grandma Ruth and how she was psychic and that she saw ghosts. So ghosts were always a part of a conversation from when I was really, really little. So when we lived in a duplex in Costa Mesa, and it was shaped like an H, and you'd walk in and there was a living room, and I was probably 5, if not younger, and it was me, my mom, and my grandma. My grandma told me as soon as we moved in that there was a ghost living in her room, and she would call him and he. And so you can imagine, as a little kid, I didn't, it scared me. I never saw it, but I felt it. And so my room was first and hers was second, and then there was one bathroom. So in the middle of the night, I would run by her room because she told me that he was in there. And you could feel a presence, that something was there. And I would go by during the day, and my grandma would be in the living room, and the door would open to her room. And then I would have the neighbor girl over, and she was really mean, and she would steal my toys. So I was chasing her. She had my Barbies, and I didn't have a lot of toys because we weren't, affluent. We were pretty poor, and I had 2 Barbies, and she had both of them. And I was running, and the closet that we had was shared between both rooms. It was kind of like a Jack and Jill closet, and so we would play in there, and we would run. And so I was screaming for my mom because Veronica was stealing my Barbies. And my mom comes running up, and Veronica throws my Barbies up on the top shelf in the closet. And so my mom's trying to get the Barbies down, and she's pulling all the stuff out of the closet, and Veronica's standing there. I'm standing there, and there's no Barbies. The Barbies just disappeared. And so weird things like that would happen, and I slept in the room with my mom in this house, and someone would knock on the window, and it was like a 1940s house, and the window was up 6 feet tall, so you couldn't actually get to the window. And then my grandma would constantly talk about this man who would visit her in her room. And so one day, I don't remember exactly what happened, was somehow was in my grandma's room, and there was a sewing machine in there. And my mom swears to everybody that she unplugged it. Somehow, I end up with the sewing machine needle in my finger. Like, it turned on. I was screaming. I was little. And my grandma swears that he did it, the ghost. So, there's always been ghosts in my life, and there's not been a time where I didn't believe in ghosts or something weird that would happen. So, when Matt came to be in my life, and he, his parents didn't believe, I knew these things were out there, and it was, and I knew in order to live side by side with them, you have to take control. And so I've always believed in the paranormal and weird things always happen around me. But I think that's probably because we believe.
Yeah, and she's been into the paranormal for her whole life. She's researched a lot of locations with me publicly. She's now just getting into researching Bigfoot with me. I've had numerous encounters. In fact, I think our next episode will be on Bigfoots, if you want to stay tuned for that.
As far as Bigfoot goes, I haven't seen one. There's always a possibility of something being out there, but I'm still skeptical about that one. But I'm working on, I'm still looking, trying to find it. You never know.
She just doesn't have enough experience out in the field in that particular research. So it's just something you have to do a lot. But anyway, so yeah, basically that's where we kind of got our start. We would go out and, like I said before, research said to be haunted places, and then we started investigating homes, and the paranormal pretty much became our lives after that. So we appreciate you guys listening. We'll have podcasts on. We're going to try and have podcasts on every week. I'll have different guests every week, and we'll be talking about all different subjects: Bigfoot, UFO, ghost, poltergeist, dogman, demons, anything paranormal.
Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
And also don't forget to please like and share this. And we appreciate you guys. Thank you guys again so much for your support and your love. And we'll be having a weekly podcast that lasts from between 10 to 15 minutes here every week, starting probably next week. So again, thank you guys. We appreciate you. We'll catch you on the next podcast.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.